Hello, everyone, and welcome to this first in a series of devotions on Easter week, sponsored by the Anglican Orthodox Communion worldwide. My name is Jerry Ogles, and I will be your host for today's presentation. The lectionary text for today is that for Easter Monday, the Gospel of St. John, chapter 20, verses 1 through 10. Let us read that together. Beginning our reading at the first verse of the Gospel of St. John, chapter 20. The first day of the week cometh Mary Magdalene early, when it was yet dark, unto the sepulchre, and seeth the stone taken away from the sepulchre. Then she runneth and cometh to Simon Peter, and to the other disciple whom Jesus loved, and saith unto them, They have taken away the Lord out of the sepulchre, and we know not where they have laid him. Peter therefore went forth, and that other disciple, and came to the sepulchre, so that they ran both together. And the other disciple did outrun Peter, and came first to the sepulchre. And he, stooping down, and looking in, saw the linen clothes lying, yet went he not in. Then cometh Simon Peter following him, and went into the sepulchre, and seeth the linen clothes lie, and the napkin that was about his head, not lying with the linen clothes, but wrapped together in a place by itself. Then went in also that other disciple, which came first to the sepulchre, and he saw and believed. For as yet they knew not the Scriptures, that he must rise again from the dead. Then the disciples went away again unto their home. Here ends the reading of the Holy Gospel. Now, before we discuss the text in detail, I'd like to describe something about Mary Magdalene. Mary Magdalene was someone for whom Christ had an affection, as he does all of his disciples. She loved him dearly for all of the things that he had done in her life and changing her life and bringing her out of darkness. She had the courage to stand by the foot of the cross while Christ was being crucified, at the risk of incurring the wrath of Rome as well as the Jewish rulers. She and John and the other Mary, and Mary, the mother of Jesus, they stood at the foot of the cross while all of the other disciples were dispersed and hiding in the bushes. But Mary Magdalene, the mother of Jesus, and John were compelled to stand at the foot of the cross because of their special love for the Lord Jesus Christ. John always refers to himself as the other disciple. He never mentions his own name, but he does say the disciple that Jesus loved. Jesus had a special affection for John because of his tender age, perhaps, and his devotion and innocence. And Mary Magdalene, feeling that she owed Christ everything. And you know what? We all should feel that way. We should all feel that we owe Christ everything, because indeed we do. Now, when Christ was crucified, Mary was one of the last to leave the site of the cross. Reading from Matthew 27:55 through 56, I read, And many women were there beholding afar off, which followed Jesus from Galilee, ministering unto him, among which was Mary Magdalene, and Mary the mother of James and Joseph, and the mother of Zebedee's children. Matthew 27:55. And then it says in Mark 15:47, and Mary Magdalene and Mary the mother of Joseph beheld where he was laid. They stood by the cross until the last moment, and they watched where he was laid. Matthew 27:61, and there was Mary Magdalene and the other Mary sitting over against the sepulchre, watching as he was buried. So she knew exactly where he was buried, and so did the other two ladies. And so Mary, I believe, was kind of the one who led them back to the tomb early while it was yet dark on Sunday morning and found the tomb opened. She ran and told the other disciples, and they didn't believe her. They came running and they looked, and they came in and they saw the orderly manner in which the garments were folded and laid there, and the head wrapping removed. Then they seemed to know that Jesus Christ had risen from the dead according to what he had already told them. It's amazing that they were surprised that he rose from the dead because he told them precisely that he would. He told them that he would be crucified and that the third day he would rise again. Then both of these disciples went inside the tomb. Now, the angels of the Lord, the angel of the Lord was inside the tomb later when Mary looked in and saw him. And that's what happens on this next reading that we will have tomorrow night. It is a beautiful reading, maybe one of the most in the New Testament. It is to me, at least. So I hope you will watch tomorrow. Very simple today. Tomorrow, just full of beautiful gems. We'll see you tomorrow night. God bless you. Thank you for listening. Goodbye.